Howdy hombres, my name's L.A.zy and welcome all back to the letter. In the last episode we started Ash's chapter as he tries to look into Luke right. Apparently Luke has a lot more sins on his back, which is not all surprising considering what a massive scumbag it is, and the ghost is slowly starting to haunt him as well, so it's only a matter of time before our master skeptic finally believes in the ghost curses. But right now we're actually visiting Zach, and I believe this was Zach's part of a chapter as well. At least we know what happened, like why they decided to get in here, just to see if anything happened to Zach at all. So with that out of the way, let's get into this. I need to adjust my gloves a bit. There we go. Let's get into it. Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on the weekend, especially having a busy week like the last one. The big guy is nowhere in sight though when I arrive in his unit. Figures, people don't seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note on his fridge if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by. Does he keep his door locked at all? And there isn't one. He probably just went out for a quick walk. I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something and went out to buy some. He is out of eggs after all. It puts my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking.
Ash, should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could also go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Isabel's quick to shoot me a sharp glare and another chuckle slips from me, despite the unease in my stomach. It sure only lasts a mere few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. It's the silence that's telling, and the quiet Isabella? It's usually the first recipe for an incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm still worried for our friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the doorway for a few good minutes now, since we entered Zach's place in fact. Doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. But much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets her hands, clasping them one moment and feeling the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer though. The best I can do is help her temper it.
You don't have to hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat by Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. Zach isn't here? I thought we met him, like, here in this chapter. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry. He didn't even bother to fold the sheets. His cell phone's been left behind as well. Another odd thing, he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case the client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone either. We'll have to check on her later. In the meantime, Zach. With no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, with no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run-through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending this place. Isabel won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so I don't just charge headfirst of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella's with me. I can't be reckless. Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is the bag of chips from I rifle through his cupboards. After muttering a permission and an apology its owner won't hear, I grab it. Isabel doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer of food though. So instead I set myself on Zach's old couch and turn on the television. Isabel's silence may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. The screen lights up, whereas some awful noontime drama starts airing on Channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away time. And waste away we do. The afternoon is hit the last few hours when the movement comes from the other side of the door, and Zach's heavy treads break the monotonous shrivel from the TV. The lock clicks, the knob turns, and slowly swings open to reveal a very exhausted looking Zach. What? Did you run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was.
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
L.A.zy's tone might be. His arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad happened to one of my friends. Another minute had gone by without him showing up, and I resort to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
It's scary how the friendly banters and easy smile come naturally. I do it even without thinking, and that speaks volume about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? Makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that a time might come where I might just do these without even meaning to, and offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer to most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries you can't cross without the other's permission. Zach's been respectful of that so far, neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? I bet he'd say not so much. It's also his easy banter that makes me wish he could just stay like this. No worries, no problems, just potato chips and debate of whether or not I deserve them. As usual, something always cut moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forces him to do a double take, Zach doesn't push it. The question's all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way. I really wish I could answer them, despite my best efforts. Isabella's been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. It's a good thing Zach has a better handle on the situation than I. And soon enough he changes the subject. Or at least where it leads isn't necessarily a better topic, however.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it's...
Zach is such a sweet boy. I like him. The third favorite character, next to Ash and Isabella.
Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences again before glancing my way. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead in this, but where do we start? The mansion? The strange things we've been seeing? The letter? Even I'm afraid of what he might say. I can't even believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
No, you're right. There really are some odd things going on here lately.
How is everything with you lately, Zach?
Hold on, Ash. Both of you. Did I just hear you say that? Is this why Isabella's here? Has something happened?
Calm down, we're just here to check on things. So, did you meet Andrew about the photos?
What photographs?
Unlike when he brought the subject of the photos with me, he doesn't hesitate when Isabella asks for it. Zach hastily fishes them out of a nearby drawer and hands it to her. You almost see it in him the 1 second hindsight kicks in, and the realization that she wouldn't have been a better listener than I. Makes sense, when all I've been doing until this morning is call it a Halloween prank. Those distorted pictures. She goes through each one of the prints in silence, her shoulders growing stiffer by the second until she has gone rigid and pale. But it is telling the glances they exchange afterwards that speaks volumes of the things running inside their minds.
What did Andrew say about them?
It could be one, but there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen. So, that's a dead end right there. Now that I think about it, bothering that guy for this feels pretty silly now. But with the dreams lately...
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you ask him even?
As expected, Zach starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too, if there was even a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. Lucky charms and mystical objects from my mother have often been stored away or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kind of slipped my mind. The photos were more important at that time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with the story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty, if you ask me. but it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec. Bella, I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet, but what else is there to go off on from here? The worried look Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either, when that's what I came here for. Somehow everyone's suddenly just so worried about me. It's like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Along with Isabel's warnings, what's occurring around Zach, what's happening around Luxborn since Isabella found the letter.
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. Guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the images off. Memories have never really left him. Isabella, though.
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
This could easily mean anything. Did her kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She has to bail him out numerous times in the past, though all that did was piss her off, not sap out every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it the other brother, the younger one who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so she could come home? That was 2 years ago. As far as I know, she already sorted that one out. It could have been her father, right? With the mansion sale, she earned enough to cover every bill for a while. It should. So what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion, else she would have mentioned it sooner. Taking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and cycling through the channels. Distraction. Not a good one, I admit, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually I find one doing a recap of this morning reports, and there it is. Who even is that guy? Help me, help me. Did the ghost get him too, or was it someone else? I don't get it. The poor guy's unidentifiable with how badly his body has been burnt. Murder via arson? That'd be a logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except they couldn't find the source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough, if they don't find anything else. What's important for everyone to know is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper. Wait, Cooper? Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this I've missed while I've been looking into write. LPD's already thinking it's a serial killer at this point. How long until they consult the London Metropolitan? I'm not sure. The Instant Butcher has always been an enigma to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then the next one body after another is found. Real handling of the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. Never did find out who committed those murders. Maybe now this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words all come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. Thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than any of the things we've said. However, she also has to understand, no, she isn't the only one on this. No one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. Asher won't.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Encouragement aside, this is still a whole fucking mess, and we're in it blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. I have a concrete plan now, I think. Maybe Isabella's right. Maybe we should dig deeper to BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. Details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's nothing he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, the Z-Man doesn't push it. Nothing but heavy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me if he only had the heart to join the force. So we use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, I push all of it into the back of my mind as Isabella and I head for my car. Tonight I can't stay distracted. Except for a few half-hearted attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabella, drive to BRC is a quite awkward affair. More so the hour-long wait for nightfall. Even with only the two of us, this place is rife with tense energy, only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking seconds don't take away the edge, and for the fifth time, I reach out and fill it with the radio, adjusting and turning the knobs with no real purpose. It's a nervous quirk I've developed but never bothered to correct during stakeouts. Something to keep my mind occupied during long nights. What else is there for me to do? The person I usually count on for a casual out of the blue chat refuses my attempts at starting one.
Ash, out with it!
Though she quickly falters into silence after, in spite of the tone she takes though, I just doubt if she really means everything she's telling me right now. She hasn't even glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno? You can get in trouble maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
Scope BRC out, see if the real estate company has any more information that may be of help. Find things about Cooper and the other agents assigned to the Armengardi mansion. According to Isabella, it's the last property the victims have worked on. Sure, I could also check the station for full reports. That's the easy, semi-legal way. But I don't want to bump into the chief right now. The guys at the precinct will definitely throw me out in his orders as soon as they see me. Not that my plan right now is any better. Just break into a different place, more or less, with a civilian to boot. The latter still doesn't sit well with me. It never will, especially this might put her in a very tricky position afterwards. She's been very careful when it comes to her work. Almost a model employee, as people would say. Why is she throwing caution to the wind now?
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way. Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Honestly, it's a toss-up between breaking into her office or into the Wright's mansion. As it stands, I'll have an easier time getting in there first. After all, why would someone want to break into a realty company? I've been here many times before anyway, for a few casual visits when I wanted to buck Scary Cat. Over the years, I have more or less grown familiar with their security setup and how badly staffed they are. Plus, it's an old building. If the bankruptcy rumors are true, it just means their access protocols will also be outdated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
Yet you're helping me with this. Willingly. I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Low blow, I know, but it's worth a shot when she can still turn back. It's not like we don't have any means to get into the place. With or without her, I have a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a passing second, it seems to work. Hints of panic and hesitation flashes across her features when she looks to me with searching eyes. Then unexpectedly it dissolves, not behind the fear I'm anticipating, but underneath something sharp and searing. I'm not sure what she sees exactly or what she's hoping to find in short while she holds my gaze. All of it merely goes unspoken, and no longer than a minute later, she simply averts her attention back to the window, turning it once again to some point outside.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
An appeal spoken in a voice too harsh coming from her, perhaps unintentional, perhaps one that's already too exhausted and everything going on lately. It's hard not to conceive when she takes on that tone, and soon, despite myself, I sigh, tucking away every concern I've been lugging around, in favor of trusting her on this. According to her, the same confidence she has implicitly given me all this time.
Alright, okay, if that's what you want. And don't worry. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen to you.
Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, but none of the cheer reaches her eyes.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow the uncertainty in her posture makes me wonder if she intended it as some kind of comforting gesture. When it's for me or for her, she doesn't let me find out. Without saying another word, she exits the car, and left scrabbling and chasing after her. She's already at the side entrance, a hand raised on the card reader beside it, another poised to push the door open when I catch up to her. Whatever doubt there has been in her face a while ago, it's gone. Seeing her like this,
Easier to believe my words are unfounded, that things might go smoothly this time.
And where do you think you kids are going? It's late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
The bloke seems friendly enough, though one can't really tell from his voice alone. He might be a wary sort, for all I know. Keeping an unconcerned face and aloof air won't hurt until I figure out how to wiggle aside the situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
From the way Isabella's face brightens up, it looks as though getting through won't be too much of a problem. He's probably been working here for a few months already then, maybe around 4 or 6 months max. Otherwise, he would have recognized Isabella or me at first glance. I haven't shown my face here since I've been assigned from the firm case a year ago. In the first place, none of their security officers ever lasted a year in service. Bonus was around 7.5. I'll give this guy around that before he gets fired or finds a better paying job. The moment he's too friendly, attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
Close enough!
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez!
You were closer the first time?
Drat. I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
I take it back. This geezer not going to last past this month. Can't even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Still a ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
I know, just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh, absolutely. No, go right ahead. As long as you have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Who?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
It's a fair observation, if I do say so myself. Needless to say, the silence it sends is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. Though the latter is probably coming mostly from me, because it's the next second Isabella laughs. Laughs. Lighter than the ones I've heard from her lately. A comforting sound, really, after seeing her in such a dour mood since this morning. Even as all of it subsides into mere chuckles sooner than I'd like, it's comforting to see that I'm at least partially responsible for it, despite my poor heart being beaten to a sorry pulp.
Oh. Oh, no! No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well have set it on fire and reduce it to dust while she's at it. Frankly, the number of no's in that sentence alone is a bit too much. Christ, it won't have been enough to get the message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible! Stop being funny, Seb. I'll go on ahead, okay?
She quickly shuffles inside with nothing more than a small wave, leaving behind an even more awkward atmosphere for me to wade through. It would have been bearable if I didn't have to suffer through a stranger's amusement. Alas, woe was me.
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days. Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
If I'm going to be stuck here with him for a while, I might as well try to gather as much intel as I can. He may be just a guard, someone with no real authority, but most of the time, people like him are the ones who know more than they let on.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
Dunno, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Oh, seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
That explains it.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
It's so weird to hear a guy with an American accent say the British word bloke. It is so weird. I'm guessing some Americans actually use that word as well.
Girly? Isabella?
It's not too surprising considering she's already been gone for 3 days. Now she's asking for another? Not that it's a bad thing. It's within her rights as an employee, but Isabella rarely uses her work leaves.
Yeah, or L.A.zy if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least you could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Wait, what?
The rumors, BRC, Rose Cooper, missing in action employees. All of it ceases to matter in that instant. Almost on instinct, my eyes zero in on the intercom speaker, as if staring daggers at it will show me that man behind the voice so I can see the truth in his face myself.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one what you're asking, and, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old guard wants to say. Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
He's lucky I'm not here to hurt anyone. If I were someone with ill intentions, he might not be smiling at the end of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
Cuts off the connection before I can finish, and the rest of my question dies in my throat. Soon the last latch clicks and the side door swings open. Seb, a stout man wearing a uniform, still too loose for him, waves me over from the gap before he disappears behind the station again. Just by luck, here I thought I'm going to have to count on whatever Isabella brings with her. Although no matter how much I want to feel happy, something else has already taken firm seat in the forefront of my mind. Is that why she's been acting not like herself today? Since when? Of course, as I step into the building, I try to push all of these questions as far down as I can. I need to focus. Work is work. What I've heard is exactly what I think it is. It's a sign of things to come. Honestly, I don't feel too good about that. It's a quiet ride up to the 7th floor where the BRC Luxembourg main offices. Seb has been kind enough to switch the guest elevator's power on just as I'm about to head for the fire exit stairs. Which is a welcome relief. I'm an active guy, but stairs? I don't want to tire out too quickly in case things get ugly. Probably won't be any trouble with the building this quiet. But you never know. I swear the whole place definitely feels eerie at this time of night. But until I've confirmed anything, those are still just stories. Worst thing that can happen. I need to scare myself. Staying calm means fewer mistakes.
Though I sure am fucking gutsy, especially with what I'm doing.
I'm breaking a lot of laws here. I'm also putting Isabella under a lot of risks. Best thing that came out of this is that Isabella's right all along. Worst case scenario. 1. Someone finds out Isabella's involvement in this and her boss fires her. 2. I find evidence that would implicate BRC and Luke Wright in the crime. And my meddling, not careful enough, makes it inadmissible in court. Though I'll be honest, I strongly prefer losing my job or facing Wright over some spirit or ghost or whatever it is. I could always work around the problems with the former. Isabella could also find a better job. BRC never did pay her properly despite her efforts. Fighting off a phantom? How does even one do that? Do guns even work with them?
Yeah, not going to happen.
Tonight I'm here to fix things. If I do it without leaving a trail, all the better. Good thing that's what I'm good at. Oh boy. I'll probably never be good at finding proper words when the stitch calls for it. Seeing Isabella's this small form beyond those doors, how she pushes through despite carrying an entirely different burden this time, but she's pretending that she's perfectly normal, it's difficult not to try. People who have never looked beyond her smiles will never know, will never understand. Hell, even Rebecca's probably not yet aware of this. I get it, we have other problems at hand. I've done the same thing plenty of times to protect myself, after all. But it's all in her eyes when she glances up, a few light raps I give the door. She wastes no time in leaving the mess of papers on the table and opening it for me, though even her confusion as she takes in my presence barely hides it.
Seb, let you in?
The rough edge in her voice rings a whole lot different tune than I'm aware of why. But knowing it's different from hearing it straight from her, I can't simply bring this up, can I? It's not a topic suited for casual conversation, and I doubt she wants to talk to me about it. As much as I want to help, there's a distance between us I'll never be able to cross. Well, that would even be better if it wasn't for me. Perhaps if I had been more honest years ago and less of a coward, I might have been able to. Because I couldn't even do that for one person I keep telling myself that I care deeply about.
What can I say? I'm a very charming person.
To a rock?
This is the closest we can get to it, I suppose. The light banter, the fleeting glances, or sometimes the long bouts of silence. That's enough. For me it is. Because even without words, there's comfort. With her, it's easy.
Must be a pretty cool rock then.
Ugh, get over yourself.
Hey now, I deserve some slack here. Today's supposed to be my day off, and yet here I am helping you out.
Helping? By standing at the door?
Well, you're not exactly letting me in.
Despite what she says, she moves to block me when I try to enter. She must have expected this the second we walked up the building entrance and counted on the night shift guard to bar me from the place. It's reassuring to know she's somehow worried about me, although it's a bit misplaced at the moment. Besides, her concerns aside, I really can't let her get into the thick of things without me, with all the problems on her plate right now.
Isabella?
Seriously, Ash, Seb might get in trouble for this. You might get in even bigger trouble with your boss.
And you're not? We've already talked about this back at Zach's. It's out of the question.
At least do it for Seb, please. He's a really nice guy. With the way things are going here, he's...
On that, I agree with her. Seb's not such a bad fellow. Might be a little careless with his job and talks too much, but he means well. Hate to see the guy leave here with a bad record in case something goes wrong. When he anxious looks, she shoots back at the table behind her, bringing even bigger worry.
Did you find something? Aside from what you told me about yesterday?
Not yet. I'm not sure. I haven't started going through the files we have in the records room. Just the ones they handed to me and Rose.
Let me see.
Wait, Ash!
Isabella, I already promised you that no one's going to get in trouble after we're done here, even Seb. I'll make sure we leave the place clean.
Her hesitation's still there, a split second of indecision as she tries to form an argument. Eventually, when nothing comes to mind, she steps aside.
Okay, but we can't take the original files out of this office, clear? Not even a single sheet. We'll just have to make a copy.
Don't worry, that's the plan.
He appears to reassure her, a nod and shortly she gestures for me to follow. Passing the sea cubicles, they can't help but take in everything in their office, a force of habit for the most part. As far as I know, BRC Lixborn used to own this whole building. Offices in several floors once upon a time, where real estate is still a lucrative business for the company this side of the country. Then competition showed up and suddenly everything's not so good anymore. Only got worse as the years went by, or so according to the rumors. Now, the branch is just explored, despite what the huge sign on the building facade says. And frankly, it's not too hard to believe when one looks at the state of this room right now. Remember, the desks have been cleaned out. Personal mementos are scarce as if the employees have gone in exodus. They'll be downsizing, probably. Still worrisome, though. Of course, I shake away all this when Isabella starts handing me the papers she's been looking through. Focus spray. There's no point in whining or dwelling any longer on it. That's why we're here in the first place, to find out what the real deal is the old-fashioned way. Isabella's presence is a whole other blessing, too. I couldn't imagine how long this would take if I pushed going in here alone.
Is this everything? Where are the documents you mentioned?
Still locked up in the records room. Do you need them now?
Bring them here. Everything that has to do with the mansion's sale. Even those who worked on it during the renovations. The cleanup. Everything. Including your mandatory sign-in sheets.
It's another thing to bring up, but at least I listened to a laugh from her before she heads for the records room. She remembers. And no matter how weak the sound of it is from her usual ones, it's a welcome thing to hear. Reminds me that Isabella I know is still in there. She returns minutes later with a thick stack of folders and binders. The next half of the hour works complete silence while we dig into everything compiled in the folders. Really that long? Is Seb not going to get suspicious after this? Not an easy task considering how thick the whole thing is, but there's two of us. In fact, Isabella does most of the work sorting the contracts, the employee list, stuff we won't need into a pile. Just the files for the restoration alone makes up a stack of papers that's an inch thick. Third-party service providers hired for the masonry, radiators, woodworking, plasterwork, slate roofing, and a whole bunch of other things that are well documented. Well, every single contractor who worked on the project were listed individually, and they were just there to do the plumbing. It's high profile and high cost to stay, alright. With that scope comes the loopholes. It means plenty of room to hide something in if there's something fishy going on. All I have to do is find a pattern. And it doesn't take long. Upon closer glance, despite the original owners shouldering renovation costs, it will be surprising if they managed to break even on the Armengardi mansion. With the additional expenses for the open house, the commission for their agents, and other overhead fees. At one point, the negotiations to get it listed under BRC's name almost broke down too, some disagreement about the listing price. The owners wanted to be rid of it as quickly as possible while keeping the worth at a profitable level. BRC was insisting on a higher amount, double what the appraisers suggested. This, plus the rumor the branch is closing, BRC Lixborn really is in the red, and the sale of the mansion could have easily been a desperate move to keep the branch afloat.
No wonder the final sale happened as fast as it did. Did you know about this?
No. They took it off our hands after I submitted the final documents for the sale. I didn't even know until I read this. I'm not sure if Rose did. I've only been given the key to the records room after she... Anyway, my point is, they've kept all the files from me. Rose was the one who compiled everything from our side. And even then, she was probably not aware of this. There's only so much they let us know. After that, they just told us to wait for our commission, and that the legal team would handle the rest. The rumors are true. Huh.
Seems so.
Sheesh, this place is just unlucky. Going bankrupt while the rest of this crap is happening? This isn't what we're looking for. What we need is the who, the people aside from Isabella and Cooper involved in this business with the mansion, and the how they are now. Can't do much with the outside contractors, they won't be on file. The employee list, on the other hand, even with 2 people working through the pile, the whole task still takes quite a while. It's quarter of an hour later when we put down the papers with a sigh and move on to the clients upon Isabella's insistence. For that sign form for the open house comes in handy. Something that gives me a laugh when I spy the fake name around one of the sheets. Ashley. Hannah Wright, Luke Wright, Richard Frank, Uzziah Ventu, Ashley, Charles DeSantis, Marcy Ty, Lawrence Stiles, Marlon Williams, Beatrice Wiley. Armagari Mansion open house sign-in form.
Why'd I even pick this name? It sounds so lame.
What name?
Nothing important. Just focus on those papers you have. We need to finish this soon, before Seb suspects anything.
She snatches the paper away before the thought of hiding it occurs to me. Not that there's much secret in it. Isabel found me that afternoon anyway, but still.
Ash Lee?
I've been careless that day, tailing Luke Wright without confirming where they are headed off to. While the butler is terribly efficient in keeping the Wright's engagements from the public eye, there are other ways if only I've given it the time of my day. In retrospect, I've been too eager, too impatient to find something that'll crack the case and be done with it. Maybe my failure goes as far back as the day of the open house, not during the party last night.
Yeah, well, I was pressed for time.
Seriously? Ash Lee? Were you even trying?
Oh, come on. You didn't even notice I was the one who wrote it down.
Of course I wouldn't. Only an idiot would use his real name.
It worked, though. Admit it. It's genius. Who would have thought, huh?
She responds with a roll of her eyes, then drops the matter entirely by shoving the paper back to my hands. We lapse back to our respective tasks afterwards, wordlessly skimming through everything. Read, set aside, get another one. Looking back at the sign-in sheet, I spot Luke Wright and Hannah Wright listed up top. Not that I don't know about them already, of course, but scanning through the list, a name immediately comes to my attention.
Madeline Williams.
Who's that?
Something wrong?
Huh? No, just that I remember this girl listed here.
She frowns, moves her seat closer, and takes careful read of the sheet. There's a long moment where she speaks up again, but from the way she tenses, she appears to be expecting the worst already.
What about her?
She was with me, in the group following Cooper, when we toured the upstairs part of the mansion, I mean. Rather loud one, especially when we took a peek into the attic. Kept talking about the ghost stories the whole tour.
Then, do you think she's...
She was reported missing 3 days after.
There was a ruckus at the precinct the day her family filed it. Threats were naturally given to lack progress days later. Desperate ones. Her family is willing to shell out all the cash they have just to find her. To no avail, unfortunately. Officer Benjamin has been in the bad mood ever since he spoke with them. What can he do? What can we do? He's tried, we're all tried. There's only so much we're able to do with everything that has been shoved into our hands recently.
She still hasn't been found. It's already been a week.
Isabel makes no further comment aside from a nod. Instead, she sits back on her chair with a distant look in her eyes, her hands balling into a fist as she struggles with her frustration. Maybe it's anger. But the moment doesn't last too long. Soon her grip loosens as she folds her hands back to her lap. Her expression, however, is one I've seen too many times in the mirror. What does one say to a person burdened not by one loss but many? Who carries in her shoulders like a badge of shame? I've yet to find the answer to that myself. So then the only way is forward. Press on to see where our attempts at fixing our mistakes might lead us. Despite my own doubts, a glimpse of that look on her face is enough reason for me. I can't just give up. There's too much at stake, too much to lose. Renewed focus, I continue. On the third and last sheet spot number 1. Beatrice Wiley. One I recall from the newspaper obituaries. Died of a heart attack. A letter of correspondence expressing condolences to her family confirms as much as her files. Passed away at age 74 in her sleep.
She's at that age. It certainly could have been a natural death.
Right? I like to believe so. 3 more letters turn up when I rummage through the stack. It leaves nothing more than a foreboding feeling in me. They're all addressed to families of clients who have been passed away in the past week. Regardless, there's these going to the piles of things worth looking into after our visit here on Williams' info sheet. There's just so many names, so many faces, each one I've seen that day, and here I am wondering if they are all right. It isn't the selfless thought that brings the question to mind. Rather, it's the logic that if more of them are still alive, the more people I can choose to question, Nothing concrete yet, of course. There are just speculations, but we're making progress. Once done with the sign-in sheets, I stash it along with the growing pile to my left and pull out as many other documents as Bella's already prepared for me. I'm working through the employee lists now, those who have been assigned to the mansion, because if Isabella was to be believed, if that she is seen and what happened to Rose Cooper is because of that letter, I need to know everyone who has possibly read it aside from the three of us. They've been noticing strange things too. For all I know, this may have been been a terrible coincidence. Although the thought of that started the mission to dig to BRC's company files. 15 minutes later, the stack close to my elbow has risen from 5 to 21 different dossiers. Client and employee documentation, people have either visited the open house or worked on the property in some capacity since the letter's discovery. Turns out, there were two more employees who handled the mansion directly, aside from Cooper and Isabella. Christian Sy, the realty specialist, and Mark Julius Jean-Mary, the estate appraiser.
This C guy, he was in custody just the other day.
Really? Sir John has been looking for him. He stopped reporting to work a few weeks ago. Are you sure it's the same person?
Yep, this is him. Folks at the precinct said they went to his house after a noise complaint. They found him just acting all crazy. Had to take him in when he started getting violent. He kept screaming about a woman.
Immediately she stiffens. I don't want to bring it up or imply a connection to Isabella's story. That's exactly what happened.
It was driving the guards mad, but he didn't last too long in there. A few hours in, and he just started bashing his own head against the wall, and, well, it was messy, to say the least.
Oh no, we had no idea. Is he okay? HR just marked him as AWOL because none of their calls would get through.
He's in the hospital right now. I heard they're putting him into a psychiatric ward as soon as he recovers. He's still a bit unstable.
I'm guessing the ghost drove him mad pretty much from stalking him. Jean-Marie, on the other hand. His employee file notes his day of leaving and even when his final payment had been given. Along with it, there's a letter to his family about the appraiser being found dead in the office. Communication is hush-hush and there's a mention of compensation that they don't talk about to the media. Inspector Abigail has often scolded me for not reading the reports on a regular basis. I try to keep up to date as much as I can. When I do, I make sure I'm aware of the gist of what's going on in my city. This never reached the police's ears or the health and safety executive.
Do you know about this guy?
One glance there says everything. They've hidden it from the media, kept it from the police. It's not surprising to also be a secret from someone of Isabella's position in the company. Fuck.
Rose was looking for him. Last week. We haven't heard anything from him either. Until now. They never mentioned this to us.
Business is going under and someone dies while working here? Of course they want to keep that quiet. It's bad publicity. This whole thing is just getting freakier by the minute. Nevertheless, I hand the files to Isabella to make a copy of.
The pages with their names, addresses, and contact numbers will do. We'll start with the ones who live within the city.
Sometimes there are things you really can't just brush off as a mere coincidence. My line of work, once a pattern pops up, it's only right to be suspicious. Especially the thing with Sai. It hits too close to the stuff my own friends have been telling me.
All of this?
It's considerably thinner than the one she brought in, yet somehow the way she hugs the folders close to herself makes it seem even heavier. Just hanging onto it in the same manner one would latch onto a lifeline.
Only the noteworthy ones.
And those that might still be alive might. She doesn't need to know that.
We can't check the outside contractors, but the guys with the direct connection to BRC and the people who attended the open house should be enough. We don't have time to see how everyone's doing, especially if what you said is true.
For a second she appears about to argue, then quickly decides against it and hides away before anyone reads the question in her face. And in about two abrupt motions, she turns towards the copier and gets to work. Slowly, the machine's constant thrum fills the air around us while I keep myself busy cleaning up the mess we made. The lack of talk is awkward to put it mildly, disturbing and worse. What do we got in terms of updates? Yeah, that's all hand, huh? To confirm their suspicions, Isabella helped Ashton break into Bria Realty Corporation's Luxborn office that night. There, the files they found revealed the real deal with the mansion sale that was unknown even to Isabella. Something possibly more terrible. Okay, interesting. I've gotten used to letting her just babble away whenever it's just the two of us. I could tell, however, She wants to do more. She wants to fix this mess herself. That desire makes her antsy. But at the same time, she's learning how not to be impulsive or stubborn. Exactly as I told her yesterday before agreeing to any of this. Maybe these so-called changes have always been with her. Dire situations have always pushed people to change after all. Although seeing this happen in front of me only makes it difficult to find the proper things to say. An atmosphere this tense and charged, what is left for us to talk about? Certainly not the news. What's worse is when you realize all of this in hindsight, right after you've already ran your mouth off.
You know, for a house your company seems to be in a hurry to sell, they still made quite a fortune out of it. Look at this. 1, 2, 3... 6. Are you sure they're planning to give your entire share for this? This isn't a small amount, especially given the usual cut. And their accounting department isn't in the greatest shape either.
Even if they don't, it's not like someone still needs it.
That's the reason why people don't let me talk. Silence once again descends through the room, denser compared to the ones we shared tonight. Behind me, I can still hear her movements, sharp and precise, while she still feeds the originals to the machine. Then, with one last click, all of it stops. Her feet shuffles lightly against the floor when she moves away. Something creaks softly, probably a table, as she settles her weight against its side. This time an apology is already at the tip of my tongue, but...
Belle,
Papa's gone, Ash.
Oh, that's what happened. In those scant few words, everything between us shifts as the gravity of her words sinks. Right then and there, something harsh and immovable rises between us. Death is something I'm familiar with, almost 10 years in the police force, and it's impossible not to be acquainted with it. But this is different from those dead bodies we examined in forensics. Far cry from the victims we found on the bad investigation. Those I could easily distance myself from. No emotional attachments, no need for pretenses. Yet somehow I still find myself grasping for things to tell her. Any words of comfort that'll dull the pain. Because even without looking at her, her grief feels palpable enough, pain and immutable weight hanging over us. Ah, damn it. I don't want to bring her up because it's obviously painful for her.
just stay busy and you'll
Ah,
be okay.
damn it! At least that's what I told myself ever since Mom and Dad called it off years ago. Retreat, find something else to focus on, turn that little bundle of anger, frustration, and guilt into something productive. Clean, efficient, I'm not harming anyone. It worked for a time, as long as my grades never dipped below what people expected of me. They left me alone. It's not the best coping mechanism for a teenager, but it allowed me to get by. Perhaps not for everyone, least of all her. Oh boy, we fucked up. I recognized my mistake the second I looked up from my work after a long bout of silence from her. The expression on her face? Something short of anger as she grips the folder between her hands. She glares at me with intensity that might burn. She said something unforgivable. To her, asking her to bury Oliver carries different meaning. To her, forgetting means a denial.
What do you think I'm doing? Do you really think it's that easy?
Isabella, all I'm trying to say is that you should concentrate on other things right now.
And I'm not? I'm doing my best, alright? I know I got us into this mess. And now after everything, despite everything, he's gone.
Oh man, we fucked up so badly. I'm picking the worst choices ever.
I didn't even get to talk to him before he, the last time we spoke, he was begging for me to go home. He didn't even want me to leave in the first place. Now look where that got us. Look where I got us.
Belle, this whole thing has got nothing to do with what happened to your dad. It was unfortunate, but...
Ashton, just please stop. I don't want to hear it anymore. Shut it, please.
Pathetic. I can't even do this right. Another awkward silence falls over the room. Until it all becomes unbearable, and half of a heartbeat later, all I can do is to step away from it. High, like I often do with all my mistakes. Oh, god damn it. While gathering what they found, Ashton accidentally brought up Isabella's father, who had apparently passed away the day before. Suddenly, reasons for trying to fix this mess became clear to him. His attempt to comfort her only ended up upsetting her further. Hastily, I gather everything. Personnel files, client documents, sales agreements, and contracts. Anything my hands could reach. In record time, all of it has been stacked in a neat pile, ready for storage. I'm heading for the records room now a few seconds later. Wherever that is. Should be an easy find unless this place is a maze of some sort, which I highly doubt. Still beats staying here and seeing the hurt on her face, especially when I know that I'm now part of the reason why it's there.
Belle, I'm sorry. That was insensitive of me.
Don't wait for her to answer, because honestly, I'm more afraid of it it'll be. I've stepped on something she values more than anything in this world. Like this, it's easy to see why she has gone to such great lengths for her father. Why she abandoned her dreams, why she went against his wishes, just to grant him another chance at life. This is how she loves. Warm, steadfast, unflinching. What right do I have to question that? To tell her to let go? And it's one thing that she has openly given the people around her all these years. One thing that I always have no reason to doubt. Others will say it's her warmth that draws people to her, or her cheer. Neither are wrong, but neither is the whole truth to her either. Because those who have never bothered to look beyond the surface will never see it, see her. See someone earnest, someone who's always meant well despite her underlying stubbornness. In many ways, for a lot of reasons, she's the kind of person I want to be around with. It made me feel I am worth something. The way I am, her forgiveness is far more what I deserve. Except that I have no right to hear it at this point in time. Getting the files back to BRC archive room is a cinch. Documents back in the proper places, I locked the door behind me, tugging it twice just to make sure. Now the next order of business, removing the evidence of our little excursion here, or at the very least the parts showing what we've been doing during the past hour. Can't have our faces plastered on security footage showing us breaking the law as it were. I'm gonna have to wipe the date of Isabel's access card entries too. Surprisingly, finding the security room proves a breeze. What will be tricky is getting inside. The fact that no one has walked out during the whole time we've been here means the room is either empty or the security is sound asleep. I'm banking more on the former. Cutting corners and firing agents, I have no doubt that they fired the guy stationed here. They have anyone watching monitors in the first place. It's a rather common thing for establishments to leave security recording indefinitely, and then check the footage if something actually happens. Just to check, I press my ears against the door, listening for a sign of anyone occupying the room. After a long minute of nothing, I give the knob a few rattles.
Standard lock and key. Should be easy enough to pick.
We have lockpick sets, but those are only to be used if necessary and with a search warrant. Even then, skill set rarely needed. Subtlety is not the cops' priority if they have authority to search the premises. Bolt cutters and brute force are favorite methods. Those people we call a locksmith. Me? I prefer the old hairpin trick where those options aren't available. Besides, they're easy to hide and store for emergencies. Running my hand through my hair, I pull a pair of bobby pins. The two of these, and I can just about open any standard lock. One makes a lever, and the other makes a handle. I won't call it complex skill, but it certainly takes time and a lot of practice to successfully pick a lock. I think I practiced with them for a bit in my college years. I learned more than an accessible standard issue for a law enforcement officer. I will go here, I click there, and I manage to seize all the pins in the locking mechanism soon enough. The slight trim of the knob in the security office is right for the picking. Oh, this place. I know this place. The room's odor hit me first, a sharp, nauseating stench as if someone has accidentally spilled down the bleach in the room. When was the last time they opened this place?
Ugh, this place smells awful. Jesus, it's worse than the forensics lab on a bad day.
It's probably because of a badly botched effort to clean the place up. In the dark, you can spot dark stains on the walls. I really don't have time to try and play as this ketchup or soda right now. I have the strange gut feeling who the mess might belong to. As expected, no security personnel mans the office CCTV controls. The standalone DVR setup is open for anyone. Normally, I'd have a heap of things to say about this sloppy security setup. Right now, the negligence makes the whole task of releasing evidence easier.
No fuss, no muss.
Next one should be access card data. Hopefully getting into their computer won't be too much of a hassle. Everything up to now has been smooth sailing. There have been hiccups, I'll give it that, though there's nothing to dampen the good mood I'm in. Once I shift my attention to the machines that makes the DVR setup, all of it swiftly evaporates. I'm no computer buff, but I can definitely recognize one more than a decade old. Simply looking at it makes me feel younger. With a heavy sigh, I power it up and mentally prepare myself for a slow slug. Slow apparently means an understatement here. It takes a whole 3 minutes for the thing to start up. The OS haven't even started loading, and in my boredom, I start inspecting the live feeds from the cams. Only two works. One for the outside, everything seems to be in order there, and the other for the main workplace where, a fleeting glimpse, a cursory glance, but the sight of it stops me. Oh, I see her. The image of it is blurry, but standing there, right in the middle of the room, or one of the cubicles. I make out the form of a...
What the hell is...
Oh, one moment. I need water. Oh, shit. I don't get too far into that line of thought. A few seconds after my words have slipped out without any sort of warning, I'm still trying to make sense of what it is. The figure moves. Moment paralysis hits me when she stops right in front of the camera. The damn rookie is still going. It goes still in the face of danger. I definitely hadn't been trained to handle the supernatural. This is one, isn't it? And oh fuck. Her eyes bore into me, the malice in them piercing. Even beyond the screen, it's enough to make me go numb. Only the mug crashing to the floor in my hand accidentally takes a swipe at it and snaps me out of the trance, reminding me that I'm not the only one here. Isabella. It seems she hasn't noticed anything. Am I the only one seeing this? In any case, whatever's happening, I have to get her out. Gathering my wits, I quickly reach for my phone. It takes all but 2 seconds before she answers, but there's no time for relief.
Ashton? Did you really have to call? We're practically on the same floor.
Get out of there.
What? What are you...
Out. Get out. I'll meet you in the elevator.
You're creeping me out, Ash.
Just get yourself out of that place, now!
Without second thought, I back away from the controls from the room, ready to be done with the place. But before my foot even moves, she disappears.
Son of a...
Whoa! That's a Sadako reference if I've ever seen one. Instinct instantly takes over, and my hand quickly reaches for the gun on my side, only to meet empty air. A mistake that cost me a few precious seconds, while the paperwork I brought with me threatens to scatter everywhere at the same time. Gathering everything in myself and once more, with no weapon to protect myself. Since the self-preservation kicks in, next thing I lunge towards the door. I sprint across the office without daring to look back. Isabel's already waiting in front of the elevators by the time I make it out of their office. Worry creases her eyebrows upon glancing at me, but I don't have time to answer a question in her eyes. So as I reach her, grab her arm, practically throw the two of us into the open elevator and slap the button at the ground floor. A sigh of relief escapes me when the elevator starts its descent. The clicking noise fades off into the distance. Beside me, Isabella shifts, moving the stack of papers under her arm while she takes my appearance. Concerns in her eyes, so all I offer is a small gesture in my hand while I attempt to compose myself. Breathe in, out.
Why are we in such a hurry?
We need to get out of this place. Did you get everything?
Well, now do you believe us?
Yeah, it's all here. But really, you don't look too good. What's wrong, Ash?
I'll be fine. I was in the security room. From the monitors, there was a fucking...
The rest of what I'm about to say dies on my tongue when the elevator stops and the door opens too. There's a moment pause while we're both taking our surroundings. Confusion's understandably there.
Oh, come on! They should just replace this whole thing.
No, I'm quite sure I pressed for the ground floor.
Right? It's just as Isabella said, the elevator always did have problems when I visited in the past. Often she becomes so angry whenever we try to get to her floor, and she'll have to repeatedly smash the button for the elevator to even move. That was always good for a laugh. I wasn't too worried then now. Oh shit! In the distance, beyond the light's reach, noise echoes in my ears along with a rapid pounding in my chest. Isabella stiffens and her eyes grow wide at the sound. Gingerly, she reaches up to grab the hem of my sleeve and grips it hard, tight enough for her fingernails to dig through. Her eyes search wildly for the source of the sound, while I stand protectively in front of her.
Ash, did you hear that?
Anyone there? I can hear you moving from here. Show yourself.
No response. No response, only the soft sound of something scurrying around the floor and the walls in slow, deliberate movements. Faint though still audible enough in this hush, until it stops. A moment.
We need to go, Ash. We have to.
And then, this time, I'm certain it isn't my imagination. It's my training, my whole body freezes. Hands still mid-press on the button, eyes growing wide while we're waiting for any sort of movement from further back, and ears strained to the source of the sound. Can't even offer Isabella any reassurances. Much as I hate to admit it, dread has seeped into every nerve in my body. And the blasted elevator still won't work.
This isn't in my fucking training manual.
Ash, we need to leave. I know that sound. Ash, please.
Another series of Oh, I see her. Another series of shuffling against the ground, a laughter, and all of a sudden she's just there.
Like a twisted spider, she stares at us, a look of hunger in her eyes and venom in the twisted manner she smiles. A glee she has well earned, and we're damn flies that have been dropped right on top of the spider's web.
Ashton!
Damn it! Damn it!
Without warning, she moves, mocking me with each unhurled crawl she takes, knowing that I'm at her mercy.
Fucking hell!
Ashton, the door! The door!
Our lives are in the hands of a crummy elevator, literally hanging between life and death. We're not going to die here, not in the damn elevator. Shit, 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 shit! 8, 5, 4. Shit, shit, shit. Ugh. Well, I'm dead. Fuck! Okay, now I know what I'm doing at least. Okay, 1, 6, 5. Damn it! 9, 3, 8, 1. Tab, tab, tab. Shit! How am I even supposed to do this? Okay, god damn it. 4, 7, 8, 6, 5, 1, 9, 4, 8. Fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck. Well, we're dead again. Oh, I'm gonna be hearing that scream for a while now. Wait, I can skip it. I'm gonna try it one more time. If I'm not gonna get it, I'm gonna skip it. Okay, okay. 1, 5. Shit. 1, 4, 7, 2, 3. Fuck it. As if a divine power has heard me swearing up in the storm in my head, the doors close just as that thing looms near. Soon the elevator, the blasted thing, is headed up. Isabella's knees buckle in relief. In 2 kicks, she's hugging herself without any care for the mess of papers and folders she has dropped on the floor in her panic. She draws in one ragged breath after another, each one brimming with nothing but relief. And this is the most I've been tired in my whole damn life. Not during training when my superior first asked me to drop 100. Not after stakeout. After smashing a fucking elevator button repeatedly. I slump on the ground beside her, worn out. I don't let myself feel relief again, not until we're out of here. Isabel seems to be on the same mind as she looks at me. Still, I find myself sharing a shaky laugh with her.
We're okay. We're fine. Right?
Yeah, we're good. Alive.
Damn, that minigame is bullshit, honestly.
Fuck, we should have taken the goddamn
This
stairs.
could have been much easier, though. Twice I've seen it. Thrice, if I include the party. With some tripping balls without realizing there's no doubt in my mind that's actually happening. I don't want to believe it, with the truth staring me right in the face. It'll be stupidity to deny the reality of the matter. Okay, what do we got? Ash and Isabella beat a quick exit after getting what they needed, making sure not to leave evidence of their break-in. On their way out, however, the elevator malfunction dropped them in the building's basement parking instead. A familiar face welcomed them. Familiar and terrifying. As soon as the lift hits the ground floor, we hightail out of the building. Steps sound asleep as we pass by a station. However, in the face of what we've seen, everything I've faced tonight, we really can't care less who will still see us on our way out. The sooner we get away from this place, the farther the better. I'm just not sure if that also means being safe. She's almost got us, damn it. The fucking thing almost had us. She was only by luck that we managed to get the fucking elevator unstuck. But the blasted thing not working the last second? We need some air. Fresh, breathable air that doesn't stink like death and gore all at once. I'm panicking. Christ, losing focus. With another person here, I can't afford that right now. Isabel hasn't said anything, but I know she's more shaken than I am. Can't lose it when another person's depending on me.
Remember your training, Frey.
Another deep breath, and soon I'm starting the engines and driving us off. After that little incident, somewhere open would be good. Someplace that won't get trapped.
Oh boy. And you know what? After that little ordeal, I'm gonna end this video here. Ash finally met the ghost face to face. Like twice in one night already. So he has to be a believer by this point. Well, I'm making all the bad decisions now in these past few episodes, and it was completely unintentional. Like, goddamn. We'll see what the hell happens in the next episode. So, without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all who watched. And hopefully, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!